Good morning. It is Saturday, March the 23rd, and this is The Drill. And thank you very much. This is Ron, your host, the only true conservative in the United States of America today, because I'm the only one that makes the presumption for the status quo. So I was listening the other day to Hugh Hewitt talking about Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, and they were discussing his, he and a guest were discussing Robert Kraft's potential plea deal that the county in Florida in which Robert Kraft had allegedly offended consorting with prostitutes, has offered him a deal in which he would get community service and stay out of jail and whatnot. And so they were discussing all of the details. And I remember one of the things they said is, oh, by the way, this deal is the same deal they make for every first-time offender. Every person that is a guy that gets caught up in a prostitution sting is offered this deal. So it has nothing to do with the fact that Robert Kraft is stinking rich. And the thing I kept thinking about was, so what? Everybody's talking about Robert Kraft is always talking about his, the what he was involved in a very dispassionate way. They are talking about it as though they are a neutral third party, as though they are looking at this, I don't know, maybe that like they're an alien from another planet coming down to study human beings and looking at it from that kind of a standpoint. What they're not doing that they should be doing, especially if you're a conservative, is judging. You need to judge Mr. Kraft. What Mr. Kraft did, and I'm talking about in the court of public opinion, because of course he hasn't been convicted of anything yet, but where there's smoke, there's fire. There was enough evidence, of course, to arrest him. There was enough evidence for the county to prosecute him and offer him this plea deal. So as far as I'm concerned, that's good enough for me in terms of public opinion. And so what he did was wrong. It says bad things about Robert Kraft and about his character. And why is that important? Well, who does one of the persons that Robert Kraft is friends with and supports politically is the President of the United States, Donald Trump. So Robert Kraft goes out and gets himself arrested for consorting with prostitutes or engaging in prostitution, however you care to put it. And the next thing you know, of course, when Donald Trump runs for re-election, Robert Kraft is going to do what? Give him an endorsement? He's going to say, I'm for Donald Trump? Well, my question is that a good thing? If Robert Kraft is endorsing Donald Trump, or is it a slap in the face? So it's important. It's also important, and it's important to each and every one of us, our judgment and because it goes to our character, our credibility, our integrity, our reputation. And all of that is important because we all want and need to influence people and events in our lives. We don't necessarily have to influence, the NFL or, the difference between Robert Kraft and you and I is scale. That's it. He may have influence as the owner of the New England Patriots over a larger scale of people and events than you and I do. But the point is that we want to be able to influence people. We want to be able to influence our spouses. We want to be able to influence our children. And we're less likely to be able to successfully do so if we're out doing things that are immoral, things that are wrong. Second person that's along these same lines is David Letterman. David Letterman, when he retired, everybody was talking about his career and how he got started and, blah, 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 blah. But nobody wanted to talk about, at the end of the day, what kind of a human being is David Letterman at this particular point in his life? He's a crap bag. That's what kind of human being David Letterman is. Because from all everything that I've heard about him, that he treated his staff like crap. He treated people like garbage. He either treated them as sexual objects, or he was busy ridiculing and otherwise putting down his staff members. And he was terrible to his wife because he came out and had to flat out admit that he was out cheating on his wife on a regular basis. He was a crappy human being. So now, why is that important? Well, guess what? 6 months after David Crapbag Letterman retires, he is being interviewed by somebody, and he is opining on what? On the 2016 election. He is out giving an interview saying what a bad person Donald Trump is and how nobody should vote for Donald Trump, and that it's the whole country and the whole world is going to come to a grinding halt, or whatever that he said. He just had a general negative opinion about Donald Trump. So if we know that David Letterman is a crap bag, then I can easily dismiss his criticisms. Okay, because I don't pay attention to crap bags. Crap bags have no influence over my life in any way, shape, or form. They don't influence my political decisions, certainly. And he shouldn't influence anyone's political decisions. So it's important. Reputation is important. You always have to make those kinds of judgments, because not only are you going to be judged by what you do, you're also going to be judged, and should be judged, by who you associate with. The people that call themselves David Letterman's friend, for instance, or Robert Kraft's friends, should be, at the very least, sitting down and having a heart-to-heart with these two guys and issuing an ultimatum. Look, either you get your act together, either you change your ways, or I don't want anything to do with you anymore. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to know you. You're dead to me. That's what should happen. It's important. And these are the issues that Rush Limbaugh could be talking about and isn't. This is one of the issues that Sean Hannity could and should be talking about and doesn't. And Liz Wheeler and on. They're too busy talking about what it is that is Robert Mueller is doing. They're too busy talking about what it is that anybody and everybody on the left is doing. They're too busy being reactionaries. Not conservatives, but reactionaries. Think about it. And that brings us to the conclusion of another episode of The Drill. And until next time, thank you very much for listening, and have a great day.